Do you tan? Do you burn? Does it matter? What does this have to do with your success? Find out more on today's episode. Hi all, and welcome to my channel. My name is Riley Jordan, and I am a financial and professional development coach. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about how sun care relates to your future success. Personally, I strongly recommend using sun care year-round. And it's not just because I'm pale and I cannot tan, which I cannot. And I know it's a controversial opinion. No, I know. Here in New Zealand, where I live, it's recommended that you cover up as much as possible. You wear sunblock, you wear a hat, you put on your sunnies, and you avoid the sun at the worst time of the day. Put together, you can be sporting a fabulous look such as this. New Zealand and other parts of Oceania are missing a healthy chunk of the ozone layer over top of us. Thanks, CFCs. And this means that we're missing out on a natural layer of protection. So we need to make up the difference ourselves. Sun protection is something that's needed year-round and world-round. Both clouds and snow can have a polarizing effect on the sun's rays, which creates a Care Bear stare of UV radiation. A big consideration that most people know about when it comes time to think of skin protection is the C word. That's right, cancer. In a 2018 study, New Zealand came up second in the world for most prevalent new cases of cancer. New Zealand also stood out for having the world's worst rate of deaths due to malignant skin melanomas. If you're interested in reading the article, I've put a link to it in the description field below. Cancer itself can have a pretty direct impact on the success you want out of life. It can put a halt to your earnings. The medication and treatment options can dig into any savings or assets that you have. And even if you do have insurance to protect those parts of your life, you won't be able to do everything that you would normally want to do in life until you're fully recovered again. As a side note, Kiwis are notoriously underinsured for illnesses. This means we face some of the highest levels of risk worldwide, while taking on some of the lowest levels of protection in the developed world. And if you have any more questions or would like more information, you can feel free to reach out to me directly. So, assuming the sun doesn't make you sick, can it still affect your earnings potential? You bet it can, otherwise I wouldn't still be talking about it. A number of articles show a very strong correlation between aging and hiring inequality. While some can argue that that can be due to changes in market trends or skills requirements, there is a common perception that older people aren't suited to the modern workplace. And in some cases, older is right around the 45-year-old mark. Previously, that was when most people were hitting their stride in their careers. This generalization gravely misrepresents the diversity of skills that long-term workers bring to the marketplace. And one of the results of this can be a discriminatory hiring practice known as age bias, which is super illegal in New Zealand, BT dubs. With the current culture of job hopping, which is not a bad thing, odds are that pretty soon you're going to find yourself face-to-face with a hiring manager and face-to-face with potential discrimination. One difficulty is that a lot of discriminatory biases are actually unconscious. And how do we combat that? Often in our daily lives, the best way of dealing with a bias is to avoid it altogether. Most people do manage biases in the workplace anyway. We code shift and dress more professionally because that's how we want to be perceived. We mirror our bosses and we negotiate with customers to avoid conflict and confrontation. Effectively managing biases, including addressing them directly, will be covered in a future video. And this is where appropriate sun care techniques can step in. There's tons of evidence showing that sun damage exacerbates the signs of aging.
I am shocked! Shocked! Well, not that shocked.
Physically managing these signs of aging before they happen can make sure that when the time comes to have the conversation, it's focused entirely around your skills and your abilities, and this should lead towards further success and better outcomes as you continue on with your career. Something that frequently comes up with my clients in my coaching business is that they want to be more confident. A number of those same people are really firm in their decision to make sure that they're always wearing a layer of war paint, or a really loud tie, or some other distraction that screams, "I'm not comfortable in my skin." While it is definitely okay to make sure you have that safety blanket with you when encountering different situations, those techniques are always much more effective when you have a baseline layer of confidence and acceptance of yourself that you are building on top of. Feeling good about your appearance is a very important element of confidence building. Year on year, the number of men and women who've gone in for cosmetic procedures has increased. They often state that the reason that they decided to get a cosmetic procedure done was to increase their confidence. They wanted to be in control of what they looked like and how that impacted their future. Some are specifically concerned with the signs of aging and what impact that will have on their love life or their careers, or just how they feel about themselves. Some people feel like their outer appearance no longer matches who they are as a person, and they want to get that back and help restore their confidence by looking like how they feel. I find it excellent that people are able to acknowledge and use these options in a way that works for them. As someone who's also in the finance industry and has a keen sense of budgeting, it is also important to acknowledge that the cost of those sorts of procedures can have an impact on your other financial goals. For example, KC New Zealand has some procedures that go up to $1,600 to help deal with your appearance management, and these are not advertised as permanent solutions. A more permanent fix, such as going under the knife for a facelift, will put you in and around the $20,000 mark. So some preventative care by skipping out on a tanning session or two can not only impact your sense of confidence, but also your bottom line when it comes to managing the results of tanning down the road. Wherever possible, I do recommend avoiding the burn and taking care of your skin. This is not a blanket avoid the sun rant. You should definitely go outside, get fresh air, and be active. But while you're doing so, make sure you are taking care of yourself and make sure you're taking care of your skin. You should not punish your skin or put yourself at risk for a bit of a glow. They invented bronzers and highlighters for that. Always remember when you go outside to slip, slop, slap, and wrap all year long. Thank you all so much for your time. I hope that some of this can contribute towards your long-term success-related planning. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns about any success-related goals, please feel free to pop them down into the comments section below. Otherwise, you can feel free to reach out to me directly on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. For those of you who are in New Zealand, you're also welcome to reach out to me directly for a one-on-one session via my website, which is in the description field below. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, I hope all is alright with you.